It's Algebra 1, Lesson 6-5. I'm your favorite teacher back, Mr. Sandell. Hi, YouTube. Hi, guys that are not on YouTube.
Smash that like button.
Subscribe and share. And turn on notifications.
Subscribe.
Hit that bell.
Hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video.
If you do that, you get like super annoyed. I'll like a random day post like 4 videos. Like none of these are for my class, Mr. Sandell.
Yeah, but it's
As I was talking about earlier, we're just gonna do a bunch of examples. See if you guys can solve them. Let me start with the first 2 are always gonna be nice and easy, and then the next few are gonna be hard, and then I think the last 2 are supposed to be the hardest.
No me gusta word problem.
I'm gonna give you the first one, which doesn't require any strategy, just like use your brain. The sum of 2 numbers. We're taking notes. I don't write the word numbers. I write hashtag, right? Or octothorpe if we're being professional. But the sum of 2 numbers.
Octothorpe is such an ugly word.
Mia is such a pretty name.
What were you gonna say?
The sum of 2 numbers is 25.
Mr. Sandell is about to end Mia's life.
Oh my god.
I don't know what you're implying. I was gonna say a pretty name.
I don't know. Didn't really
I
sound
don't know
like
about
it.
that one, Mr. Sandell.
Difference is 3. You gotta figure out the numbers. Obviously, some word problems you can see are like giant paragraphs. I have summarized your paragraph into this cute little 2 lines. So, we should probably variabilize things if you want. I like to variabilize things. It turns into
Wait,
variables.
are these word problems like that, or are they like Susie went to the store to buy 6 watermelons, but she could only find?
Yeah, there's that one, but they make more sense.
Is it actually
They're about
Susie?
field trips.
And she went to the store to buy watermelons.
This one is only 211 watermelons. Like that's realistic. There's talent shows. There's selling bushes and geraniums.
Selling bushes?
Cool.
Ooh, this is a spicy name. Daniel and Ansaji.
Massager.
And they're all things that you could theoretically do at school, like trying to do a fundraiser. There's nothing like absurd where you have to buy like 2 million eggs from the
Who on earth is Snappy?
Anyway, I'm gonna say that my 2 numbers are x and y. So sum of 2 numbers is x plus y. Crazy. Sum of 2 numbers is now turned into x plus y, and that equals
3.
25.
This is why you guys struggle with word problems, isn't it? I think the answer is 7. I don't know how. It's just 7. All right. How do I say difference?
Minus.
A minus sign. So we'll just do x minus y. I guess that means that x is the bigger number because we're doing bigger minus smaller, and we're getting 3. So it's an assumption that you made by making that equation. Okay. So the general idea behind every single one of these problems, and there are a total of 7 different types of problems. Sometimes I reuse them.
Why?
Is to get 2 different equations. If you get 2 different equations, then it's your choice to use either elimination or substitution, or if you're a crazy person, graphing, to solve those. So I personally like elimination. It requires the least amount of work. And with this problem, it's really nice. But I guess this is the hardest part, getting from here to here. That's always the hardest part. Give me a fist of 5 on this, what I consider to be not very spicy level of problem. Fist of 5. How old did you get from here to there on fist of 5? A 10. Oh my goodness. 4.
Well, I did say it was going to be 3, so.
Okay, so 4. All right. And then we solve. I assuming our solving skills are either a 4 or a 5 out of 5, especially with an easier problem. What am I? You guys feeling elimination, substitution? What do you guys feeling? Shout out.
Elimination.
That's what I'm feeling through now. So I'm going to add these together. X plus X, shout out.
2x.
2x.
Positive Y plus negative Y adds up to
Nothing.
0 or nothing.
Equals.
And then these added up
28.
28. I can go ahead and solve. Divide by 2.
14.
Divide by 2.
Cristiano Ronaldo, see.
Equals 14.
See, Charlie?
And I'm done, right?
No.
Why am I not done?
Because you have to plug it into the top of it.
Yeah, I gotta top plug it into one of these things.
14 and 11.
So it's 14 plus what equals 25?
11.
You can
No.
subtract 14,
Yeah.
subtract 14.
No. It's your everyday
1,
route.
2, 11. So 14 and 11,
My bad.
those are the numbers that add to 25 and the differences.
You not.
Sorry.
Easy peasy and lemon squeezy. All right. I'm gonna take a drink from my non-sponsored Owala bottle, which you know is the best water bottle.
Hold
Just
on,
for
we gotta show the 8th graders the photo.
they already saw the photo. They got it before. I already hung that. I got 2 of those.
Link in
3x3s.
description.
But I had it framed and everything. It's a beautiful picture of me and my Owala at prom.
Mr. Sindel.
Oh, I should. Well,
How
after
nice.
today, I'll go ahead and put this with all my other framed pictures
Mr.
of
Sindel.
Oh
things
my
that are
gosh,
awesome.
wait, are you going to the elementary school now since the 8th graders aren't there?
The 7th graders are still there. I teach a 7th, 8th combined, so now it's just a 7th grade easy class. I don't have to teach 2 classes at the same time.
Yeah, they're in Catalina.
No, they get back like Thursday morning, hopefully.
I juked out that trip.
I think I have
Yeah.
enough room to.
Yeah, because you went to a soccer tournament.
I don't feel like
It was so
getting
fun.
down.
You really messed
Dude, that
up.
was
I wanna do it.
Yeah.
You don't feel like getting low?
Getting down, you know?
Get low.
Stop.
To the window.
I'm surprised they played some of those songs last night.
I am too.
Well,
It was
Well,
so
at homecoming,
there are
they,
some songs that Edgar's like, skip, I didn't mean to play that one.
at homecoming they played a bunch of songs.
Dirty songs that Jesus would not
You know,
approve of.
Miss Dawson didn't care. She wasn't gonna stop him.
There's like a
She
strip
has the
club in there.
best. I remember prom out at the park, the community park, where Edgar was DJing out there, and I remember, was it her? I'm pretty sure it was her. She like walked up to Edgar and was like tapping on the song and was like, can't play that song. All right,
But she
anyway.
didn't stop him from playing Get Low.
Anyway.
Well, she.
He played
What?
So I'm gonna read the entire problem, but I'm only gonna write what's important. So you're flying from Bangkok. Do you guys know where Bangkok is?
Thailand.
Is it?
What?
I didn't think so.
No.
Mia.
It's in Japan.
Hold on, let me think.
It doesn't really matter where you're flying from Bishop, and you have a tailwind, and the plane is traveling 181 miles per hour with a tailwind. So the way
It is
that-
in Thailand.
It is?
Yeah.
Bangkok is in Thailand?
Yeah.
Is it like capital? I don't know
No.
capitals very well.
I think it is.
Okay. So I'll write this. Tailwind is 181 miles per hour.
Wait, the wind is 181 miles an hour.
What does a tailwind mean? Do you
The
know the
wind
difference
comes-
between a
Oh,
tailwind and a headwind?
Yeah,
It's like
so the
headwind
plane's
is
going
when
that
you
way,
go
and then the
like,
wind's.
bang.
It makes you go faster. It's
Because
pushing you.
it's pushing the plane. It's going.
Biking
Yeah.
in a headwind literally makes me want to.
But when the plane comes back, coming back, on the way back, you're
We
going
back, we back.
107 miles per hour.
Oh, that's a bad headwind. That's about 70. I'm gonna say 70.
Let's go ahead and make an assumption here that the wind is consistent, which is never true. It's the reason that airports have runways that look like that. It's because your wind changes direction. Sometimes the wind is going that way. Guess which runway you're gonna use if the wind's blowing that way?
that
That
one.
The wind is going this way now.
Yeah.
If you've ever wondered why airports have weirdly overlapping runways, it's because the wind changes direction, and it's usually the same 3 to 4 directions at every single airport over and over again. So
it's insane.
now you learned a little bit about airports. Hooray! All right, coming back here to this problem, we're going to assume that the wind is a consistent direction, which doesn't actually happen. How are we going to solve that problem? Because this problem is now that problem in a new wrapper, right?
Have you
Oh,
ever flown on an
rapper?
airplane?
Because the airplane, we're going to also assume goes the same velocity, the same speed. So we're going to say, let's variabilize our equation. Let's say the plane is p, or the plane speed. By the way, when you're solving your problem, you don't need to explicitly tell me what p is equal to. I can figure that out. I'm making this as explicit as possible for you guys so you can follow along. And what should we use for a variable for the wind speed?
W.
W. That's a W. My bad.
We're gonna get a W for this one.
I'm gonna have to
for
ask
sure.
you
You
to
got
do
Mr.
that.
Sindel in charge. All right. So, if I add these together, I'll probably get what number?
Hey, Mr. Simba. What if I told you you haven't been recording any of this?
That would be very sad. Am I not recording?
No, you are.
Okay. I wouldn't restart. I would just send it down. All right. So if I add P and W, I get 181. How do I do this one? Is it P minus W? W minus P? It matters.
108 minus 107.
What?
I mean, I need to variabilize this, like, so when I'm flying the way back, the wind is pushing against the plane. So the plane is like trying to make progress. Who's gonna win, the wind or the plane?
The
plane.
plane.
The plane has to win, so the plane has to have a bigger number. And I said over here, it's the bigger number minus the smaller number, so it's gonna be P minus W or W minus P?
P minus
W.
It's gonna be plane minus W, the plane wins, and it wins by 107. And you solve it the exact same way. So I'm not even gonna solve that one because it's solved the same way over here. I'm just gonna say done. The hard part for these problems is getting from here to here. I've done the hard part, let's move to another problem that is harder. These are both considered to be what I consider non-spicy problems. We'll go a little bit spicy for this next one, for example 3.
Alrighty.
Alright.
Can you stop that?
Yeah, you don't even really need a ruler because you're not taking notes, we're not graphing, right?
But I like him.
Example number 3. Let me read a problem. That's not the problem. There's a problem. Oh, this one I always thought was a tricky question. I never had one of these until I did math for fun.
No.
So I'll read it out loud once, you guys will think, and then I'm going to write some stuff down. When you reverse the digits of a certain 2-digit number, you increase its value by 54.
Huh?
I'll
Hey,
say it again.
yo.
When you reverse the digits of a certain 2-digit number, you increase the value by 54. I also know
45.
45 goes to 54, which increases by 9. I want you to find the number if the sum of the digits is 12. Alright, so let's write down what we know. When you reverse the digits of a certain 2-digit number, so we can say, there's 2 ways to do this. There's a way that I do it, and there's a way that most people do it. I think my way is better. I'll teach you my way. 10x plus y is a 2-digit number. Here's why.
Here's why.
There it is. See? Okay. If you want me to use other numbers other than y, so we don't have to make jokes about it, we can do that too. But if I say you said the number was 45, right, Mia?
Yeah.
That's.
Did you know 45 is the
absolutely
same
wrong.
thing as 4 times 10 plus 5?
Did you know
Yes.
that 45 is the same thing as 54 reverse?
Yes, but that's harder to say.
That is completely unrelated.
This is what I say about the 40 is it's the tens digit, and the 5 is the ones digit. If I had a 3-digit number, I would have written it. This is a 2-digit number. 2-digit number. And Estrella, you don't really have to copy from here on down. I'm just kind of explaining what this is coming from. If I had a 3-digit number, like the number 136, I would have said this is 136, or it's 1 times 100 plus 3 times 10 plus 6 times 1. 6 times 1 is just 6. I don't really need to
Are
write
you
that.
sure?
But every time that you have a new unit or a new digit, it's just you multiply by 100 if it's the 100th digit. You multiply by 10 if it's the 10th digit. So I'm multiplying the first digit by 10 because it's the tens digit. So that's why this is my 2-digit number. Are you guys okay with that? If you're not okay with it, you just have to memorize it, which I feel guilty for saying, but there's a lot of these word problems, and that's my strategy for 2-digit number problems.
Honestly, I just zoned out so hard, I have no idea what just happened.
Well, thank you for your honesty, even though it breaks my heart a little bit. We'll continue on with this problem. 10x plus y is that 2-digit number. And if I reverse that, then I get 10y plus x equals 2-digit reversed.
I don't like that.
I reversed the x and the y. So, for example, if I had 4 for the ones, the 4 is now moved into the tens. If I had
Yeah,
a
that-
1
that
for
was
the
illegal.
tens, the 1 is now the ones.
That was hard.
Okay. And I will tell you that if you go from here to here, you increase by 54, which means the difference between these two is 54.
Hey, yo.
So let's go ahead and assume that that one is the bigger number and this one is the smaller number. I always do big minus small. I'll label this one. That's the big one. That's the small one. If you want to make that one the big one, go for it. It doesn't matter. It just changes the order in which you do your subtraction. With subtraction, you always do big minus small. So I'm going to do this one, 10x plus y minus 10y plus x. And I should get, it increases by 54. So it increases by 54. That's that first line of the expression.
Huh?
I'm doubting my teaching abilities. How do I teach you how to solve this?
You just don't.
Can we just
Could we
skip
just,
it maybe?
yeah. Oh, yeah, Mia just snakes me.
You just not do word problems. I hate word problems.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is the reason that you're bad or that you don't like word problems is because they've been forced on you? Like, what if I made this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those strategies where I should really just let you guys try it for yourselves and
I don't
struggle,
wanna.
and then this is like, whoa, this makes so much more sense now that we've been struggling for half an hour on this problem. Or I could just tell you how to do it, and I'm telling you how to do it, which is probably bad teaching strategy.
Let's just skip this one.
They're all gonna be hard.
Why don't we just start on it and then you could just help?
No, like skip this whole lesson completely.
No, I want to have a certain level of rigor for this class.
But I hate word problems.
I know. Sorry.
That's what we know to do.
No, you have to do things in life that you don't like.
But
Just
your
like how I
manager
do
will come and be
push-ups
like,
every
I
day.
need you to fill out those spreadsheets. You'll be like, but boss, I don't like doing spreadsheets. And he's gonna be like, all right, you're fired. Like,
But boss, nobody's bossing me around, Mr. Brunel.
That's probably because you're going to be a
Except
brokey living on the
Miss
streets.
Assassin scares me.
so let's see if any one of you, I'm hoping a few people in particular, can really help me. If the difference of these two numbers is 54, and I tell you that the sum of those two numbers is 12, what should I write over here as an equation for the sum of those two numbers is 12?
Just throw a couple X and Y's in there.
It's going to be very specific. It's a small number and a big number. I want to say the sum of the big number and the small number.
10
Oh,
and
sorry.
2.
The sum of its digits is 12.
Of its
How do I say the sum of its digits is 12? Remember,
What in the
Y
world?
was the ones digit, X was the tens digit, but in order to make it an actual 10, we had to multiply by 10. This is
Huh.
a very easy, this was the hard bit. This is supposed to be the easy bit. The sum of its digits is 12. How do I say that?
X is 1, 10 times 1 plus 2.
So guess and check works unless I make the problem gigantic and it's between like 1 and a million, and then you have to guess a million different answers. I'm trying to tell you how to get there in the first try.
Okay, well, I don't know how to do that.
I'm trying to teach you, and you're just drawing and doodling on your communicator. right
Mia,
now,
stop
so.
racially abusing Mr. Sindel.
Mr. Sindell's white.
You can't be racist to a white person.
The digits. I have an explicit, like over here I did a good job of telling you what my variables were. I didn't do that over here, so I can make that better. I can say that X is the tens digit, and Y is the ones digit. And I will repeat the question again. The sum of the digits is 12. What do I write over here in terms of variables?
X and Y.
And the sum, which means you do what with the X and Y?
You
Add 'em.
There it is.
Oh. Well, if X is the
This is a digit, and that's a digit. The sum of the digits is 12. I said that out loud a few times. I said, when I reverse them, this is, the hard part is how do you reverse digits? It's using this method of 10 times the tens unit plus 1 of the ones unit. And then I can solve this. Again, I would probably want to simplify this top equation down here to say, okay, the right side is 54. I can say 10x, again, this minus sign is distributed. 10x minus x is
X.
10.
10x. Negative 10x.
Negative 10.
I
I
never
11.
signed my X.
10x minus 1x.
9x.
There we go. And what about y minus 10y?
10.
1y minus 10y.
9Y.
Close.
8Y. 7Y.
It is a 9y, but
Negative
Minus.
9Y.
Oh, I was close.
9Y.
Whoa.
so these will be my two
And
equations that I
y.
solve for. It'll be in the notes that Estrella is taking. Again, once you get to here, I don't need to solve this. I've already showed you how to do elimination and substitution. I'm just showing you how to convert from here to here this lesson and expecting that you can do the entire process.
So wait,
I
is
know.
that always gonna be 10 in front of the x?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless you have 100 units, I only do 2-digit numbers.
Okay.
So it's always gonna be 10.
Is this gonna be on the
That will always be a 10,
final?
that will always be a 10 because it's the tens place. It's the tens unit.
Is this gonna be on the final?
Yes.
Oh, I'm screwed.
Well, I'm getting a 0.
0 on the entire final just because this is on here.
Yeah, man, I'm feeling really guilty because these are really fun puzzles, and when you're forced to do anything, it usually makes it so that you don't want to do it. Like, you need to do your laundry, you need to pick up your room. It's like, I don't want to do that because you told me what to do it. If you take pride in cleaning up your room, if you take pride in cutting your fingernails, then you want to do those things because you know that you're good
Yeah,
for it.
like
You'll
when
get
I'm
a
doing the
compliment for
dishes
it.
and my mom just comes in and tells me to do the dishes, and it's like, well, I don't want to do it anymore because you told me to do it.
Because this really is a puzzle. I first saw this problem in a puzzle book, and that's how I learned how to solve it this way. I taught myself how to do it this way. No one showed me how to do it that way.
What's the normal way?
The normal way, the first way that I solved this was guess check, which took forever. So it took me a while to figure out, oh, you can just do the 10 times the tens digit plus 1 times the ones digit plus 100 times the hundreds digit if there is a hundreds unit, but there isn't. So that was my strategy. And I'm just kind of cramming that down your throat, which makes me feel guilty as a teacher. Let's try something that is, I think, up your alley, and this is the one that has a strategy for a lot of these other ones. It's one strategy to rule
Percy
them all.
Jackson?
One ring to rule them all.
What did you say?
You said Percy Jackson.
Charlie loves Percy Jackson.
It's a good author.
That's because
Bad
Yeah,
movies, but you know.
I know.
But,
Annabeth has
you know,
brown hair. Like
it's a-
I watched the movie and I literally just wanted to kill myself.
Don't say that.
My bad.
It's a good author, but it still hasn't gotten old for Charlie, even though he's read it like probably how many times have you read the whole series? Like 15-ish times.
I've read Harry Potter a few times, and I still love Harry Potter, which is older than Percy Jackson, I would say.
Well, no, because
No, but he's reread Percy Jackson like 15 times.
what I'm
like, the
training
whole
for is
series.
just to have a better memory and I can memorize books and then I never have to read in high school.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you're
Don't know if that's gonna work. All right, this is the giant paragraph problem. Let's see how much we can extract. So I'll read it out loud, and you guys can figure out what we're gonna write down. So we're talking about a local amusement park. Maybe we're thinking when we go to Disneyland for the senior trip or something like that.
That's not local.
I'm just gonna switch this problem and make it more applicable to us. So when you're seniors, you have the choice of going anywhere that you want for your senior trip. Last year, they chose Disneyland. I was one of the chaperones. It was amazing. You guys should choose it and make me your chaperone for Disneyland. That'd be awesome. Anyway, when you're a senior, let's go to Disneyland. Let's go ahead and say there's 2 different high schools. Because I'm feeling creative, they're gonna be Levine High School and Colville High School. All right.
Wow.
So one is going to be probably an L for Levine, one's going to be a C for Colville. I'm just spitballing for what variables we
Wait,
should
are you
use.
saying we're an L?
That's your own interpretation. I don't know if you want to use that interpretation.
That's not bad.
I'm going to say this, that Levine did this. Obviously, this is in some parallel universe where Levine has like a ton of students.
And money. We're broke.
We actually have pretty good money to student ratios compared to the entire United States.
Well, why on earth?
Our
do we-
students are like, oh, we don't have enough money with my custom MacBook Air for every student with all these fundraisers that are. I had to pay $10 for prom at this giant mansion. Oh, poor.
I got to
me.
have cereal 5 times a week for breakfast and lunch.
There are some counter arguments. that can be
Okay,
made.
wait. I have a question. For the senior trip, do they get fast passes?
That's up to you guys. It depends on.
Because if you don't, then it's not worth it.
I mean, when I went there, it was up to the student to pay for their own fast pass. If you want to plan ahead and be like, we should all go to Disneyland and we need fast passes, then you know what your budget is, what your fundraising goal is, and be like, we need to go and fundraise here, here, and here. And then once you get enough money, then you just get to spend the money. It's kind of nice.
I just want to go to the
What do you think about it? All right, Lee Vining. I want to talk about vans and buses. Lee Vining had to do 14 vans
Yeah.
14?
and 6 buses for a total of 494 students.
Good God.
That's what I like.
More than I
Colville
like
had
that.
13 vans, 12 buses,
Good God!
and 838 students.
Why are they always?
Are they combined trips?
So, here's your question.
What's the question?
How many students fit in a van? How many students fit in a bus?
Well, it depends on what kind of van you get.
8 people fit in a van.
So, I'll write it
Not
maybe up
all,
here somewhere off the
depends on
side.
van.
Yeah.
Bus,
Is there
hold,
any 4-row cars?
and van,
Four
hold,
row
split.
cars.
Yeah, like a lot of cars have 3rd rows. Don't you have 4 rows?
So, in
That'd be
this
fire.
In this problem, we're gonna have to make some assumptions. I think we're gonna have to make the assumption that the vans and buses are perfectly full, which never actually really happens. But we're gonna make that assumption because I think that makes the problem easier. If I'm wrong about that assumption, we'll come back and I'll talk about how that is such a hard
How
problem that I
about,
won't ever actually throw at you.
That's kind of ugly. I don't want to have to sit in a seat with another person.
Okay. So we should probably make. It looks like buses and vans are the things we're solving for. The thing that you're solving for is going to be your variable, and I'm going to write that down because that's an important statement that Mr. Sindel just said. The thing you solve for, the thing that you solve for should be a variable. Which makes sense, right? Because you guys have been asked to find x or solve for x your entire life, well, since 6th grade. Is that when you do your algebra? So you have to solve for x. I mean, if you know how to solve for x, you should solve for b or solve for v. So that's the first step. I'm going to say bus is probably going to be b, which is different than my 6s, which are round. And then v should be vans. Should be v. Cool. And if I'm being, I'm already anticipating like 10 years in the future, someone's going to watch this YouTube video and be like, oh, he was wrong. It should actually be the number of students that fit in the bus. Yes, it should be the number of students that fit in the van. I don't want to write that because I'm lazy. So I'm just going to say B for bus, B for vans, and we'll figure it out from there. All right, so we need an equation. This is the hard part. This is where you guys need to do some thinking. If you create the equation, I assume that you can solve it. That's not today. That was Thursday. How do we solve this? That was actually Wednesday, wasn't it? I need an equation. And generally speaking, and this is advice now, so this is this will always happen. And this is advice, so I can't do, what's less strong than a star, like a smiley face? A smiley face is just my advice. My advice is each equation typically will be a different unit or a different scenario. It's usually one of those two things. If there's a third thing, we'll come back to note that. It's either a different unit, like this equation is all the money equation, this equation is the time equation. Different units. Sometimes that happens, and sometimes they're just different scenarios. And when I say different scenarios, I'm talking about, in this case, schools. There's the scenario that you're in Lee Vining, and then there's the scenario that you're in Colville, which means for this problem, use these 3 numbers with these 2 variables in one equation. That is what I'm asking from you right now. How do I say there are 14 vans, 6 buses, and that added up to 494 students in an equation using B and V? Let's go.
14b plus 6b equals 494.
Done. Yeah. Plus 6b equals 494. We don't have to say this, but I'm going off to the side for a note to come back to this. This was the Lee, I'll just put Lee Vining equation. This was the scenario that you went to Lee Vining. And there's this second scenario where we went to Colville. If you went to Colville, someone that hasn't spoken yet today.
13b plus 12b equals 838.
Done. That's the hard part. That's all I'm going to leave you off on. As a kind of consideration, would you use substitution or elimination here?
Probably
Elimination.
So,
elimination.
no.
You could
I think I would go with elimination as
Me too,
well.
on the
I would.
top.
I mean, I would always go with elimination unless it was explicitly being like, I've solved for a variable that's ready to be plugged in. Which one would you probably eliminate? The V's or the B's?
The
B's.
b's.
B de burro? Okay. Why?
Because multiplied by -2.
Yeah.
It's a really easy multiplication problem. This one you'd have to multiply by 13 and 14, which is gross because they're co-prime. These are not co-prime.
And
One
then
is a
the-
multiple of the other. Just multiply that one by -2.
And then the
you get
number in the
-12.
back would be massive.
It'll be a big number, but again, you guys can do that if I give you enough time. The whole point of today is how do you get from that to that? Grace. Yeah. Cool. That was what I consider to be like a very common problem that you'll see on like a state test. They'll give you a giant paragraph of information. I extracted the core essence of it. You know that the thing that you're solving for should be a variable, which we did, and we knew that we're either working with different units or different scenarios to make our equations, and then you'll solve for those. So I'm going to give you another practice one where you just have to make an equation. Example number 5. That was example number 4, Shreya. You probably already figured that out. We're on to example number 5. Because there's a lot of these different problems, and some of them have unique strategies, which is why I'm going through so many. So many. It's weird that doesn't erase it. Thank you, Charlie. Stinks over there. It's farting. All right. Example number 5. What do I want to do?
God.
You good?
Yeah.
I'm reading through these. Yeah, this one is very similar to the one that we just did. Okay, so who's in ASB? Who's like most involved in ASB in here?
Grace.
So Grace is
No,
selling tickets
Marley.
to Levine's talent show. In this talent show, Charlie's going to be showing how to do a kickflip. Marley's going to be doing Marley's talent.
Miss Esson would probably rather die than let me skate on a talent show.
Yeah, that's probably true. I don't know. You guys are doing a talent show. What would your talent be, though, Marley? You'd sing.
God, no.
So she would sing. Got it. You know, Julian probably. He looks like a tap dancer, so he'd probably do a tap dance for us. Let's see. On the first day of sales, Grace did the following. Grace sold on the first day. Let's say day 1. On day 1, she sold 3 adult tickets.
Wow, you're so.
3 adult tickets and 4 student tickets. And the total amount of money that was made was $98. So Grace, you're in our problem right now. You're on ASB and you're selling tickets
Grace
to the
is part of the
talent show.
problem.
Oh, this easy. 3A plus 4S equals 98.
I feel so special.
On day 2, Grace sold $196
Oh, dang.
worth of tickets, and that came from 8 adult tickets and 6 student tickets. What do you think my question is going to be?
3A. Wait, no.
Well, are you kidding me?
I thought he said it.
I haven't even got to the last line, but you can predict. What's my question?
How many?
How much does
do
the adult
does
and
each
student
ticket cost?
So what is the cost of a student ticket? What is the cost of an adult ticket? So let's do the first thing.
Star.
Oh.
Sounds variable. Oh,
Solve for variable.
What are our variables?
So,
A
just get the
equals
variables.
cost of an adult ticket.
I like how you said that. It's the cost of the adult ticket. Good. And then
S is cost of the student ticket.
S is the cost of the student ticket. Now again, I should really be writing down the number of dollars of the student ticket, but I'm just going to be lazy.
Oh my god.
I think you guys can figure that out. All right. And then the truly difficult part of this problem, this process, to create the equation.
3A plus 4S equals 98.
Yeah, Marley's got it on lock.
Someone aside from Marley, give me the next one.
8A plus 6S equals 196.
There you
That
solve.
was a mouthful for me. Charlie, get your toes off the desk.
Gross. Yeah, feet down.
Hey, they're on my backpack.
Your shoes are off.
But he is injured.
I'm keeping it elevated.
No.
I'm gonna allow it.
He can take it. He can put his shoes on.
No, but then my shoes are on the desk. It's even worse.
I'm gonna allow what he's doing. What would you guys do here?
Sit down.
I'm gonna say, let's say you
Okay.
were forced to do elimination.
Stop.
Would you try to eliminate the A's or the S's in this one?
The S's.
Yeah, what would you multiply by?
3 and 2.
3 and 2 to get to 12s? Okay, one of them would have to be negative,
Negative.
right? Yeah, good. I'm saying good, but I've like pulled 2 people. I know 2 people out of the 8. Aaron is not here. Out of the 7 know what they're doing, which means I'm doing an F as a teacher. I'm hoping, let's do this. Fist of 5. If I gave you the same paragraph of a problem and you were able to get at least that information, how well could you make your own variables and make your own equations and hopefully then solve from that? Fist of 5. 4.5.
Yeah.
4.5. 10. 1.
No, I'm just kidding.
5. A
To
wavy
be
hand.
determined.
A 5.
TBD.
I just want to brag.
Fist
See,
5.
I don't like word problems.
I'm working through.
They're just blah.
Again, I could do a bunch of these. Those are the main ones.
We also only have like 10 minutes.
Yeah, we can jump straight into homework then.
Can you do the homework for me?